the top 20 best quotes I have ever heard. I don't have an intro for you, so let's just get into the video. At number 20, the best thing you can have for a child is him to be born into poverty. That one's by Andrew Carnegie, and that's a little bit crazy. Also at number 20, this one by John D. Rockefeller. Oh, how blessed young men are who have to struggle for a foundation and beginning in life. What I take out of both of those is essentially these wealthy men saying that there's certain lessons, character traits that you learn that you can only learn being born or brought up in a certain situation. At number 19, each one of us is the sum total of our own thoughts. He is where he is because that's really where he wants to be, whether he'll admit that or not. That one's by Earl Nightingale, and that one's a little bit disrespectful if you really listen to it and you really understand what it is he's trying to say. Also at 19, by E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, your life right now is the sum total of your decisions. Both of those quotes are really sort of stressing the actions that you take and your thought process being the reason why you are where you are at this current moment in life. Myron Golden, number 18, the number one common denominator for people who are hyper successful is they focus on intention and ignore distraction. Think about how easy it is to get distracted. Think about the fact that social media platforms want your attention, ads want your attention, everything wants your attention, and you just have to ask yourself, why is that? A lot of people who don't have money see people who do have money as thinking differently. And they might be in the fact that they are more uncomfortable with being poor than you are. That one's from Alex Hormozi. We'll probably see a couple more from him. This next one is from a book called Letters to My Son, and it's as follows. Drugs and alcohol, they have their seductions and their truths, but they do not have the strength of human spirit. That one's crazy because a lot of times if you've been somebody who has taken drugs or somebody who drinks, it kind of gives you this facade. And it's not saying that everything you think in those moments are false or everything you think in those moments are not true, but how true are they? And how long can that thought last? That's what I interpret with this quote. Carter Woodson, at 15, if you can control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. I can go so much into how much I think that society or somebody or something controlling your thinking is an absolute detriment, but I think it sort of speaks for itself. If you can't control your own thoughts, if you can't control the way you feel, the way you think, of course you won't be able to control your actions. You're going to do the actions of the person who has control of your mind. A man's world success will be in the measure that he has sacrificed his confused animal thoughts and fixes his mind on the development of his plans. Also at 14, he must lift his thoughts above slavish animal indulgence. Both of those quotes at 14 are from a book called As a Man Thinketh, and they're both fairly self-explanatory in the sense that you're going to need to control yourself. You're going to be drawn to certain things. You're going to want to do certain things. You're going to want to indulge in certain things, but you need to control yourself. At number 13, time wasters is a poverty habit and hours of miscellaneous dissipation of one's energies. Both of those are at the 13th spot, and both of those are speaking on the fact that you need to try and not waste time, not spend so much time on meaningless things that don't do anything for you. At the number 12 spot in the top 20 best quotes I have ever heard, this one's from a man that Mr. Dana White loves, John Jones, and it's the way he said it in this interview, just that on a spiritual level he knew. Before he was the John Jones that we all know, he speaks about this belief that you have to have, and on a spiritual level he knew that he was destined for something greater. Before anybody seen him, before all the lights were on, you just knew. This is what it takes. What you must commit yourself to if you want to succeed. That's from a movie on Netflix, and oh my goodness, they say it over and over and over again in that movie. Also at number 11, from Mr. Hormozi, I will not do my best, I will do what is required. Both of those quotes are stressing the importance that it's going to take a level of commitment and that your best might not be good enough. You need to do what it takes. You need to commit yourself to what it takes. We are now into the top 10. Faith without deeds is dead. Faith without action is dead. Faith without absolute positive belief is dead. And that one is from Mr. Napoleon Hill. Also at the 10th spot by Mr. Napoleon Hill, an unshakable faith that the ways and means for carrying out the mission would be revealed to me as I went. Meaning, If you can't see it yet, you need to have this faith that as you keep taking action in faith, the ways for successfully completing the mission will be revealed to you as you continue to go. I don't know how you're going to get some results through believing unless you put some action back at that belief. Also Napoleon Hill, also stressing the fact that you need to really believe, really have faith, and take action in that. Mike Tyson, number 8, and I don't know if you can see, it's starting to rain a little bit here, but he says, when someone gets you angry, they're your master. If someone can control your emotion and make you do something, act out of character, they must be your master. They must be in control of you. Number 7 from Amon Gotzi, you need to get this in your head. From 0 to 10K a month, the only thing that drives the business forward is outreach. If anything else comes to mind during that period that is not outreach, it is simply an excuse. And this one really hit home because you know when you're starting a business, you're thinking, oh, I need to create the website. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do that. When it's no, you need to get business. And the way you're going to get business is by just doing constant, aggressive outreach. That's how I interpret it. It's starting to rain a little more, so I think I'm going to have to relocate. Number 6, it's impossible for a $500,000 a year identity to be accepting a $50,000 a year salary. That one is from Patrick Bed David. And boy, does that hit home. Saying you want a different outcome, saying you want something bigger, but just staying comfortable and accepting a certain salary that absolutely will never get you there. That one's got to make you think a little bit. Second Mike Tyson quote in the top 10, when you're favored by God, you're also favored by the devil. He's coming for you too. Who better than Mike to let you know a quote like that? We have made our way into the top 4. People have a massive discrepancy between what is required and what they think will make them successful. And I think people have a dramatic underestimation of the amount of volume it takes to be successful. Both of those quotes from Mr. Alex Hormozi. And it stresses the fact that you may not know, or I may not know what it actually takes to get to a certain level, the volume that it takes to get to a certain level. It may sound unrealistic. Our brains might not be actually able to comprehend it. That's how I interpret that one. Number 3, there is no such thing as the perfect moment. If you continue to wait, you will not do it. Shall I say anything further? Think and Grow Rich. I have learned from years of experience with man that when a man truly desires a thing so deeply that he is willing to stake his entire future on a single turn of the wheel, he is sure to win. This quote has lived in my head rent-free for I don't even know how long. I can't even tell you how long. Think and Grow Rich. If you've never read that book, interpreted that book, consumed that book, please do yourself a favor. And the number 1 quote, the best quote I have ever heard in my life. And this is on page 3 of Think and Grow Rich. It could not have been the young man's appearance that got him his start in the Edison office, for that was surely against him. It was what he thought that counted. If the significance of this statement could be conveyed to every person who reads it, there would be no need for the remainder of this book. Stressing the fact that no matter your scenario, no matter your situation, no matter where you are, if you can control your thinking and fixate your mind onto something, there is nothing that can stop you. Truly comprehending and understanding and believing and putting that into practice is a lot different than how nice it sounds. But I don't see how that cannot be 100% completely true. And the hard thing about it is that nobody can do it for you. A lot of people might not even understand the thing that you believe. But if you can stay there, there would be no need for the remainder of this book. The fact that the best book ever says on page 3 that if you could understand that one thing, you wouldn't need to read any of the book is so crazy. So crazy. What quotes did I miss?